He is our God, and we are under his care. Psalm 95:7. The little girl sat on her veranda, ready to bite into her last cookie. Her friend came running over. Uh-oh. What should she do? When Elijah was hungry, someone shared with him. This week's lesson is called Miracle Oil. Elijah had been camping at the little brook for a long time, but the water no longer splashed merrily along. There had been no rain, and the water in the little brook was almost gone. Elijah studied the clear blue sky, not a rain cloud in sight. Elijah knew why. God's special people were still praying to Baal for rain. God wanted them to understand that He was the one who sent rain, not an idol. It would not rain until God said so. Suddenly, God spoke to Elijah. "Go to the village of Zarephath," he said. "A widow woman there will feed you." By the way, boys and girls, a widow is a woman whose husband has died. Elijah quickly started down the dusty road to Zarephath. When Elijah reached the village gates, he saw a woman gathering small sticks. Elijah was hot and thirsty from his long walk. "Would you please bring me a cup of water?" he asked the woman. "And please bring me a little bread too." The woman turned to Elijah. With tears in her eyes, she said, "I don't have any bread in my house. I have only a handful of flour and a little oil. I am going home to make a fire with these few sticks. I will cook one last meal for my son and me. Then we will die because we will have nothing left to eat." Elijah smiled at the woman. "Don't be afraid," he said. "Go ahead and cook the meal, but first make me a little loaf of bread. God promises that there will always be plenty of flour and oil in your containers, and you will not run out of food until He sends the rain again and new food begins to grow." The woman believed the words of the Lord, so she did as Elijah asked. She went home and began to cook. Elijah sat and sipped his water as the woman made a little loaf of bread for him. He watched as she measured the right amount of oil and flour. He saw her mix them together to make bread dough. Soon, he could smell the bread as it slowly baked. What a treat it was to have good, fresh bread again. For more than 3 years, there was no rain and nothing could grow. But the widow's flour and oil never ran out. God had provided food and water in the past, and He would provide it now for Elijah and for the kind widow and her son. Our activity this week is to make thank you cards. For this, we'll need paper. It could be regular white paper, it could be construction paper, or a piece of Bristol board, whatever paper you have. Whatever art supplies you have, you can use those as well. You can use markers, crayons, pencil crayons. Be creative. Create a thank you card. God has given us special people to take care of us. Persons like our mommies or daddies, grandmas, grandpas, aunties, uncles, doctors, nurses, electricians, the works. God has given us so many people that take care of us and our needs. And since He's done that, let's make something special to say thank you to them. How do you think these people will feel when you give them this gift? Remember to tell them that you know that Jesus uses them to love and care for you. And maybe you can even say this week's message to them, that God uses others to love and care for us. Or all the way, He will take care of you. God will take care of you.